Hello, my dear friends. Hello, my dear gods and my dear masters. It is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful meditation today and every day. We all need to do meditation each and every day, my dear friends. It really grounds you, it really balances you, and it really calms you down. It not only does that, it increases your healing capacity, it increases your understanding, your maturity levels, your sensitivities, and it really purifies your mind, your emotional body, and your heart. You can actually reach various levels of enlightenment through meditation and meditation alone, my dear friends. There is no other way to enlightenment. Meditation is the only way, only tool that we can use to learn in our life, to become enlightened in various levels. Along with meditation, we also need to take care of this body that we have, this temple that we are living in, this vehicle that we are using to achieve what we are achieving right now, to be able to move everywhere, to do what we want to do. So, my dear friends, meditation and plant based food go really well together. So I urge each and every one of you to please do meditation every day without fail, no matter what happens. If possible, try to do it twice a day. The moment you get up in the morning and just before you go to sleep, or even in the afternoons, anytime you want. Meditation can be done anywhere, at any time, at any place. You can do meditation at any point of time, my dear friends. So just do meditation and adopt plant-based food, my dear friends. These two are a complete must, are a definite must in everyone's life. These are the two pillars these are the two strong foundations where we can really grow and evolve in our life. These are the two things that we really need to be able to really, go strong in our life and get enlightened and to take the right decisions in our life. So, my dear friends, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you all again to this 21-day plant-based challenge, which you have taken up so sincerely and so seriously that I'm really, really, really proud of each and every one of you. Very well done, and I'm really proud of you. So we are on the day 14 of the 21-day plant-based challenge, and today's topic is the myths that we have been believing in or have been brainwashed into believing that these are right. And we are left with no choice but to believe it, because we do not try to delve into the scientific reasons or the scientific facts of the why this is happening. So it's time to know the scientific facts and what are the myths and what are the facts of all these things of plant-based food. So I have a small presentation for you all to really know what are the myths and what are the facts. So let me start the presentation for you, my dear friends. So we are on the day 14, and I urge each and every one of you again and again and again, please stop consuming all and any of the animal products. Meat, eggs, fish, and dairy. All the four come from animals, and we need to stop consuming all these animal products as soon as possible. So we are now going to go into the myths and facts about plant-based food, my dear friends. So here we are to discuss about the most common plant-based protein myths busted, and then a few of these data has been taken from healthline.com. I need to give out the source because so that you can also go and find out about these myths or facts about plant-based food, and you can also do your own research. This is my research being presented in front of you. So, you think plant based nutrition isn't sustainable? We have a few myth busting facts which say otherwise. And from concerns of a protein to variety, here are some debunked myths about plant based nutrition. And nutritional advice can be confusing and worrisome, and we want to eat healthy to fuel our bodies. But where do we start? And myths often trip us and keep us second guessing our dietary choices. So it's important to understand what's truth and what's not. So shall we just jump into the myths and the facts, my dear friends? So myth number one, you can't just get enough protein on a plant-based diet. It's a myth. Do not believe anything that says this. This is by far the most common myth, and as a medical scribe and a personal trainer, the most pressing questions the person who at healthline.com has experienced saying that plant-based nutrition is where will I get my protein. So that is where the question is, and do I need to combine foods? I'm sorry. Okay. Do I need to combine foods to get adequate protein? And the recommended daily allowance RDA for protein for most people is 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of healthy body weight. And this is achievable while following a plant-based diet. There are a multitude of plant-based foods that are rich sources of protein, my dear friends. So you really don't have to worry about any kinds of proteins or vitamins or minerals. You will get each and everything in plant-based diet. I have been discussing all these days, since it's the day 14, I have been discussing since all these days, what are the various kinds of proteins or the calcium sources that we can get just from plants. No animal sources, no animal products are needed for us to really live a healthy and a happy life. Then these include tofu, lentils, beans, nuts, seeds, and whole grains. And even individuals who require more protein, such as highly active adults, seniors, and children, can successfully increase their intake by consuming these foods. And finally, protein from a variety of plant foods. Starches, especially starches, like rice, beans, and corn eaten during the course of a day, supplies enough of all essential amino acids. And ultimately, eat plants to your heart's desire and rest easy to knowing that you are more than enough, you're getting more than enough protein for calorie needs. You really don't have to worry about getting proteins as long as you're having enough vegetables and fruits and plant-based products, my dear friends. So all these needs will be met once you consume the right amount of food, right amount of plant-based food. And what is the fact? As long as you're eating enough calories to maintain a healthy weight and eating a healthy, varied diet, you're almost certain to get enough protein. And protein deficiency is not common in the United States, and most Americans eat 1.5 times more protein than they need each day. And many plant-based foods are loaded with protein, but you might have to eat more of them to match the amount of protein found in animal products. And for example, it takes 1 cup of cooked beans to equal the amount of protein in a 3-ounce portion of meat. And if you're worried about getting enough protein, it's easy to add a scoop of plant-based protein powder to your morning smoothie if you're looking for an extra boost. Do not eat meat, my dear friends. Do not eat meat. It, you just don't need to eat meat to get all the proteins. Plants are enough. They are here to give us. They are here to nourish us with their, they are filled with proteins and vitamins. Let's all, consume only plant-based products and leave all the animal products aside, my dear friends. And the second one, you have to eat specific combinations of a plant-based foods to get a complete protein. And what is the fact? Your body naturally combines plant-based nutrients to form a complete protein. And although most plant protein sources provide limited amounts of some of the essential amino acids, it isn't necessary to combine foods to create complete proteins. If you eat a variety of foods and follow the USDA dietary guidelines, your body will have all the amino acids it needs to make the new proteins your body needs. And in other words, your body completes the protein for you, even if each time was eaten at a different meal. So this is a myth which has got busted. We have debunked these myths. Now you don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to go anywhere to cross-check it again. You can still continue your research on this. Nevertheless, these are the facts. And then the third myth. Plant-based eaters are anemic, which means iron deficient. And the fact is that plant-based ingredients like lentils, chickpeas, dark leafy greens, chia and hemp seeds, and dried fruits contain varying amounts of iron. And it's true that iron found in meat, heme iron, is more easily absorbed by the body than iron from plant-based products, non-heme iron. However, research shows that eating foods that contain vitamin C or other heme-containing foods together with the plant protein enhances the iron's availability. For example, a bowl of beans with chopped red peppers or tofu with broccoli. Isn't this beautiful, my dear friends? You're not going to be iron deficient. See, many people have died of cancer or other diseases like heart attacks or other really bad diseases. But then, have you heard of anyone dying of protein deficiency or vitamin deficiency or iron deficiency? I have not heard. I'm not sure about you. So we really have to consider these things into you know into our mind and think about it. Are these things true that we have been believing it? Are these myths or are these facts? Cross check each and everything, my dear friends. Don't just blindly accept everything. Don't just blindly accept it. Do your work, do your research work, get your facts right, and then do the right thing. Right action is needed, my dear friends. And then kids don't eat vegetables. Kids don't like vegetables. They love vegetables. Every kid loves vegetables, and many kids enjoy vegetables and healthy foods, especially when they help cook. And when vegetables like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, and asparagus are prepared well, kids love them. And better yet, when kids actually participate in the selection and cooking processes, they are likely to enjoy their veggies even more. Do you take them to buy the vegetables? Take them out. Take the children out to buy your groceries, buy your vegetables. Let them choose the vegetables for you. Let them see what are the combinations that they like, and how do they like to get the vegetables prepared. Make them a part of this process of the picking of vegetables, of the cooking process. Let them enjoy the process, and there they will learn to really enjoy the flavors of all the vegetables and fruits. And to introduce kids to new plant-based foods, try making dishes that they recognize and enjoy, such as turning cauliflower into buffalo nuggets or transforming eggplants and onions into meatballs. So it's just a gentle way, but you need not have this kind of a knowledge yet in terms over here, but you can still make a variety of tasty food for children and they will love it. They will fall into love with the vegetables. And the next myth is Plant-based diets are nutrient deficient. It's a big myth. And the fact is that it's easy to get all of the nutrients you need without eating meat. In the United States, only a small percentage of the population is deficient in any one nutrient. And that's because many of the foods we eat either provide us with the necessary amounts of vitamins and minerals or have them added through fortification. And strictly, plant based eaters may need to take a vitamin B12 or iron supplement, but it's also easy to consume enough of these nutrients through daily servings of commonly fortified plant based foods such as milks, cereals, or other varieties of fortified foods. When I say milk, it is plant based milk, my dear friends. It comes from nuts, it comes from oats, cashews, peanuts, coconuts. So, all these things. When I say milk, it's plant based milk, not the dairy milk. So, you can never become nutrient deficient. Plant based diets cannot make you nutrient deficient. In fact, they are rich in it. And then, vegan is equal to healthy. That is also a myth. Not all plant based foods are healthy, and many vegan processed foods contain high amounts of sugar, salt, and saturated fats. You all know about processed foods, how they are unhealthy. So, even vegan foods, if they're processed, they become unhealthy for you. And there is a consensus amongst health professionals that a diet consisting primarily of minimally processed fruits, vegetables, legumes, and grains is best for your physical well being. But that doesn't mean that all vegan or plant based foods meet these requirements. When an ingredient is heavily processed, many of the beneficial nutrients can be stripped away. French fries, potato chips, onion rings, cupcakes, and sugary cereals are all technically free of animal products. But that fact alone doesn't make these foods nutritious. So we really need to give up all the processed foods, my dear friends. It's best to make it home. It's best to have home food rather than processed food, my dear friends. So we really need to be mindful and careful about how we are choosing these products and how we are consuming them. Is it healthy or not for us? And then the next myth: plant-based diets are too expensive. Really? Often people think that because following a vegan diet can be expensive, following a whole food plant-based diet is also expensive. This, however, isn't necessarily the case. Plant-based food nutrition focuses on minimally processed foods. So those vegan ice creams, cheeses, and salad dressings, which might cost a pretty penny, aren't what you will want to focus on in this diet. Okay, so these are not at all expensive. Okay, if you really want to go for luxurious products like ice creams or cakes or something, they might be turning out as expensive. But the regular food that we have on a regular basis, they are not expensive at all. You can actually make oats milk to have your milkshakes and smoothies. You can make peanut yogurts, peanut curds out of peanuts. They're not expensive. You can actually use just a small cup of almonds or cashew to make 1 liter of curd or milk. So if you think in that way, plant-based food is not at all expensive. It's what you choose in the plant-based food that will decide what is expensive and what is not. So then where do the savings come in? First and foremost, fruits, veggies, and legumes can all be purchased frozen or canned. I do not recommend frozen or canned at all. I recommend fresh fruits and fresh vegetables. Just try to opt for low sodium options where possible. And not only does this mean paying less, but these versions can be stored for a long periods of time, which also I do not suggest, because it's best that we choose fresh vegetables and fruits so that we can consume them then and there and we really live a healthy life. And more specifically, fruits and vegetables can also be purchased seasonally from farmers markets at a lower cost than off-season produce at grocery stores. And as for grains and legumes, these can be purchased dried in bulk and also stored for a long time, which is also very true. You can also, try to go to a farmer, buy it directly from the farm once a week or once in 2 weeks. You can actually buy them and really store them. This really helps in finding a very, very, very cost effective way to have just plant based food. Vegetarians are 90% or 85% plant based. That other 10% or 15% that they use are the dairy products. So we really need to give up all the animal products in order to become completely plant based. And you can take this slowly and steadily. You can actually, have this thought process going on in your head and see how you can work it out with your body, with your thoughts, and with your emotions. You can just work it out. And if you add a few of your favorite spices, all of these options can be transformed into a variety of exciting and delicious dishes. It does, and let me tell you, I have been on a plant-based diet since November 2018, and I have never felt that I've actually given up something. I haven't given up anything, my dear friends. And I'm sure you will also feel that too. In fact, we have, we have opened up a lot of varieties. All of the horizons are opened up, and we can actually make so many other flavorful dishes just with plants. And then the next myth. Plant-based diets are restrictive. Just like I said, they're not restrictive. You can actually, use these plant-based products into making a, number of delicious recipes, delicious dishes. And as mentioned earlier, when someone first go on plant-based diet, they were at a loss as to what I could eat. Looking back, it's clear that their diet had been so centered on chicken, dairy, and highly processed foods that what they needed was a shift in perspective. Just a shift in perspective, my dear friends. Now it feels like they have a world of options at their fingertips. Meats can be replaced with mushrooms, tofu, and legumes and dishes. I personally do not like mushrooms, but then if you want to, you can consume them. And cheese alternatives can be homemade with blended nuts and spices. Date sweetened desserts, as opposed to sugar or syrup based treats, are rich and delicious. Trust me, my dear friends, they are super delicious. Have your coffee or tea with almond milk, much, much, much tastier than the dairy milk. So get comfortable taste testing these different vegetables, fruits, and legumes. Just recently, they finally gave roasted Brussels to a try with creamy Dijon dressing, and it was swoon worthy. So be adventurous, and you won't be disappointed. You won't be disappointed, my dear friends. Just try. That is the reason why I have put up this challenge for you, so you can try it out. 21 days without any animal products. And the fact is that you can enjoy most of your favorite foods made plant-based. There's the misconception that plant-based eating is boring and limited to salads. Not at all, not at all, not at all. But by making the commitment to eat more fruits, vegetables, legumes, and grains, you're opening yourself to up to thousands of new ingredients and flavors. And plant-based eating isn't limiting, it is limitless. And check out the Meatless Monday recipe collection and even your favorite burger restaurants serving meatless options. In fact, I agree with what they said, it's limitless. The limits, there are no boundaries to how you're going to consume plant-based food. It's all limitless. And then the next myth, I can't live without meat. Fact is that it's never been easier to find satisfying plant-based meats. Today, there are so many ways to capture the texture, flavor, and essence of meat using only plant-based ingredients. And besides the impressive creations from Beyond Meat and Impossible Foods, there are hundreds of different combinations of vegetables, legumes, and grains that can offer the same satisfaction as traditional animal products. Umami rich ingredients like soy sauce, tomato paste, or shiitake mushrooms can also be used to replicate meat's savory flavor. I, being a vegetarian, I really do not know what meat tastes like, so I really cannot comment on this. But maybe for meat eaters who want to shift to plant-based products, maybe they can try this out, and then completely come out of this flavor slaveries, and then come to plant-based food completely. And then this is a great testament, my dear friends. You need dairy for strong bones. This is a great testament that I have ever listened to, and cow's milk is not the only or best source of calcium available. Dark leafy greens like kale, bok choy, mustard greens are good sources of calcium. And it's also common for fruit juices, specifically orange juice, and plant milks to be fortified with extra calcium. And learn more about plant-based calcium sources and ways to increase and maintain calcium levels from the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. And you can also consult your nutritionist to get more calcium from plant-based products. It is a big myth that, oh, you're not having milk. What about calcium? Oh my God, there are so many sources of, calcium in plant-based products. You cannot just believe. Go back to the previous videos that I've just, been showing all this while, and see. I have in one of the videos I've shown the various sources of, calcium that we can get from plant-based products. You do not weaken your bones if you do not consume dairy. So it does not make your bones weak just because you're not having dairy. Dairy, in fact, harms the bones. There's a whole lot of information there. Go and Google, go and do your research, and you'll get to know how it really affects your body. And another myth, a plant-based diet isn't safe for children. Who says that? The fact is that the American Academy of Pediatrics states that eating a plant-based diet can be a beneficial choice for your family. Children, like adults, need a balanced diet that includes a variety of vitamins and minerals. And to account for any missing nutrients, the more common ones being B12, iron, calcium, and zinc, simply incorporate more fortified foods like breakfast cereals, plant milks, or supplements into weekly meal planning. You do not have to kill an animal. You do not have to torture an animal. You don't have to make any animal suffer just because you want your nutrients. Everything is available in plants, and you're already having enough of them. You do not need animal products at all. You do not need to kill them. You do not need to make them suffer. You do not need to enslave them. You don't have the right to take anything from them, no matter what it is. No matter how your culture has been, no matter how some people believe in it. There is no justification for torture. There is no justification for murder. Then there is no justification for anything that we do to animals. It's simply not done, not happening. And then the next myth, eating soy increases the risk of cancer. The fact is that soy does not increase the risk of your breast cancer. It might actually help lower it. The soybean is a rich source of plant-based protein, and although they have been a staple of East Asian diets for centuries, there is a myth that eating too much soy can increase the risk of breast cancer. However, experts from the American Cancer Society declared that soy is perfectly safe for both men and women to consume. And so far, the evidence does not point to any dangers from eating soy in people, and the health benefits appear to outweigh any potential risk. In fact, there is growing evidence that eating traditional soy foods such as tofu, tempeh, edamame, miso, and soy milk may lower the risk of breast cancer, especially among Asian women. So don't worry about anything, but don't take anything too much or too little, just the right balanced diet. And soy foods are excellent sources of protein, especially when they replace other less healthy foods such as animal fats and red or processed meats. Soy foods have been linked to lower rates of heart disease and may even help lower cholesterol. They're not damagers, they are beneficial to our body. So get your facts right, my dear friends. Don't just believe in it blindly. Get your facts right, get your research done, and then decide what you want to decide. And then the next myth: you will lose muscle on a plant-based diet. This myth closely follows the first. Those of us who love fitness and perhaps even compete care deeply about muscle growth and physical performance. Research demonstrates, however, that increases in muscle mass and strength are associated with protein regardless of the source. You just need to get protein. Where you get it from, you can get it from anything, but just leave the animals alone. You really don't have to kill the animals. You're only safeguarding your taste buds, your taste, giving the excuse of proteins. And in other words, consumption of protein-rich plant foods can just as effectively build muscle as animal-based foods. And it's important to remember that muscle growth is stimulated by strength training, not protein intake. Just look at these facts, my dear friends, and see how it really changes your perspective of looking at animal products and plant-based products. So pump that iron and consider following a workout with leafy greens, beans, and seeds. And the next myth is that you will be hungry on a plant-based diet. And often clients, patients, or friends express major reservations about switching to a plant-based diet on the fear of being hungry. Because plants are low in calorie density, it subjectively seems as though they can't be satisfying. And however, as fruits, vegetables, and whole grains and legumes are all high in fiber, which is likely to leave you feeling fuller for longer, this shouldn't be a problem at all. And while only 5% of Americans get enough, this is just a study on Americans, because this is not just Americans, this is about the whole world. And this is just the data which I've picked up from this website called healthyline.com. This macronutrient has also been linked to a number of other benefits, including improved gut health and controlling blood sugar levels. Start your day off with oats and your favorite fruits. Wrap up some baked tofu and veggies for lunch, and enjoy bean chili dinner. It doesn't get tastier or more satisfying than that. It really doesn't. And we now come to the next myth. How do you feel debunking all these myths, my dear friends? How do you feel about it? Has it challenged your belief system? Has it challenged your perspective? Did it or not? A plant-based diet doesn't supply enough vitamins and minerals. This myth couldn't be further from the truth. Plants are by far the most nutrient-dense foods we can eat. For example, leafy greens and legumes are rich in calcium, iron, and zinc. Berries are extremely high in vitamin K and manganese. And tropical fruits like mangoes and pineapples are rich in vitamin C. Ultimately, the more variety in your diet, the better. Not to mention, expanding your palate is exciting for your taste buds. So that said, plant-based eaters should supplement with vitamin B12, as this vitamin comes from the soil and not from plants. So you can actually use some supplements for B12. And here we come to the end of our presentation today, my dear friends. And despite the common myths, following a plant-based diet can provide you with adequate micronutrients and doesn't have to be boring or cost you the contents of your entire paycheck. So if you're still considering a plant-based diet, it's time to write out a grocery list, invest in a recipe book or two, and start cooking. So yes, my dear friends, that is the presentation that I've got for you. And I have debunked most of the myths that must have been believing in, must have been, I must have challenged your belief system or perspective or your way of looking at it. So I urge again and again and again, stop all the animal products. Consume only plant-based products. Do a favor to Mother Earth. Do a favor to the animals. Do a favor to yourself. This is a temple, and not to stuff it up with all the um, products coming from the animals which are not supposed to be in our body. Consume only human food, and that is plant-based food. Thank you so much, my dear friends, for joining us today. And I hope I have debunked many of the myths. And tomorrow, we are going to meet a health coach wherein we can ask any number of questions regarding plant-based diet, regarding vitamins and proteins or minerals or anything. She is the head of Eat Fit, my dear friends, and we are going to the R&D head, my dear friends, R&D, the research and development head. Her name is Manasa Rajan, and we are going to meet her tomorrow and get all your questions and queries ready, because we are going to have a very interactive session tomorrow with all the questions and answers, and she'll be answering all of your questions and queries. So thank you so much, and I'll see you again at 5 p.m. tomorrow India time. Thank you so much. Namaste.